Coming to you this day from the third floor of the Rhode Island State House, my name is Dave Barber, in a segment we call Capitol Spotlight. We'd like to take 5 minutes and talk to a member of the General Assembly about some of the things they've been working on and how it might impact you, the Rhode Island citizen. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome a gentleman who we're meeting for the first time and interviewing for the first time. He represents the fine folks in North Providence, a new freshman member of the Rhode Island House of Representatives, State Representative Bill O'Brien. Representative, it's good to see you.
It's nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure. One of the things that we like to do early on in session is get some of the new members on camera and let our audience get to meet them. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, both personally and professionally?
Well, my name, obviously you just said my name is William O'Brien. I'm a school teacher in the city of Providence. I teach Algebra 1 this year at Hope High School. My background before that was I worked for Benny's Incorporated, and I joined the Peace Corps because I wanted to become a teacher. So I served 2 years in South Africa with the underprivileged there, and I fell in love with teaching. So I came home, went into a master program in Florida to earn my teaching certificate in Rhode Island. And when I earned that, I came back, and I've been teaching in Providence ever since. And 2 years ago, I ran and lost to Greg Shadone. And this year, I won by 66 votes against David Pellegrino.
Tell us a little bit about your family. Are you a native of Rhode Island? Do you have children?
I have no children as of yet, and I have no spouse. I'm a single guy, but I have two wonderful nieces and one nephew, and my sister and my brother and my two parents, who I'm very close with.
In addition to these two runs for the State House, one unsuccessful, the most recent one, of course, successful, had you been involved in politics before otherwise?
I helped on a very limited basis. I helped Ralph Mallis in his first mayor campaign in North Providence in the 90s, and I helped Councilman Manny Giussi. Other than that, I had no background in politics.
Now, as we move through the session 2013, do you have special pet projects? Do you have legislation on your mind that's of interest to you and something that you'd like to champion?
Well, one of the things that I read in the governor's budget that I didn't like was there's a $12 million cut in nursing homes. And that's not just a $12 million cut, that's a $24 million cut, because we have matching funds from the feds. And I think that's just a bad idea. It takes $24 million out of our economy. It increases the price of nursing homes and senior care centers. And it's bad for the economy, and it's bad for seniors, and I'm not for it.
Well, let me ask you also, what about a committee assignment so far? Have you been assigned to committees? If so, which ones?
Health and welfare, and education, and environment is the two I've been assigned to.
Well, I would think with your interest in the nursing home issue and with your work as an educator, I think you would serve in both of those capacities very well.
That's one of the things I'm going to bring up in one of our first committee meetings is that cut, and I'm going to try and put that back into the budget.
Even though the session is just essentially 1 month old, what's it been like for you? How would you describe the experience so far?
Well, it's a lot of work. You know, you're getting calls all the time. I got one call at 4 a.m. last night, and what was a blind individual. We just didn't know it was 4 a.m. So he wanted to talk to me about a pothole in front of his house. But hey, those are the things we signed up for, and by the way, I helped them out.
Well, you know, and it gets back to that old expression, that famous expression from Tip O'Neill, that all politics is local, and you know, being able to help, that's the paycheck in life you can't cash.
Absolutely, and that's why I joined the Peace Corps, and that's why I love being a state representative. Help is the small things that keeps the community together and keeps you going and makes everything better in Rhode Island and in the community.
Representative O'Brien, I want to thank you for taking time out of what is a very busy day for you. I wish you and your colleagues in the Rhode Island House the very best for the remainder of session.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to see you.
And thanks to you, too. We couldn't do it without you. My name is Dave Barber. You've been watching Capitol Spotlight.